Welcome to the Adventures in Alchemy podcast, where we share tips, techniques, and true stories to support you in using the law of attraction and alchemy to create magic and live the life of your dreams. Here's your host, the founder of dailyalchemy.com, Michelle Martin Dobbins.
Hey there, it's Michelle Martin Dobbins from dailyalchemy.com. And today I want to talk to you about something that can raise your money vibration and bring more money in. And it might sound kind of weird, but it's giving away money. And specifically, I wanted to start talking about tipping. I like to be a good tipper, and I've found that it makes me joyful, and I like knowing that the person who gave me service is going to be happy about what they see, what they receive as a tip. And also, it raises my money vibration, but I've found that, the better tipper I am, the more that circulation comes back to me, because money is something that needs to circulate. There's like an inflow and an outflow. And here's something that I want you to think about. If you are grasping and holding on to your money and you're sitting there with the calculator figuring out the lowest amount of tip that you could get away with giving and still be considered a decent tipper, or if you're thinking, oh, the service wasn't that great, I'm not going to give them anything, you may want to reconsider, because those are poverty thoughts right there. And I will say, as we go along with some of the tips that I'm going to share with you, you do want to start small, especially if you feel like this creates a resistance. I mean, if you're used to giving the least amount of tip or sitting there calculating it, just give a little bit more, or just kind of guesstimate. If you give 10%, give 15. I always give at least 20, but I find it really fun. And even myself, would I leave $1,000 tip? That's a stretch for me. I hope someday it might not be. And even for me, probably $100 tip is something that I've rarely left. And usually that's on a more expensive meal. But do I have fun with going? My daughter and I like to sometimes meet when she's on a lunch break from school, and we'll go to the Waffle House, which, if you're not from an area that has a Waffle House, it's a pretty low-priced restaurant. It just serves waffles and eggs. So the two of us can eat there for easily under $20. And for me, how fun is it to leave a $20 tip on a less than $20 meal? And I can afford to do that sometimes, and it's fun. It makes me feel good. I know that it's going to make the waitress smile all day. And so it raises my vibration. It makes me happy to do that kind of thing. So play with that. Give a bigger tip on something small. Because like I said, if you're doing a $15 meal and you give a $20 tip, you've given more than 100% tip, but you haven't broke the bank. And you can do that even on other smaller things. We recently went on a trip as our family, so we had fun playing with a few things, which, when you're traveling, tipping the bellman, tipping the porter who gets your bags and stuff, the taxi driver. And it's fun to give those people a little bit bigger tip than what they expect. The bus driver on your tours, if you take tours, the tour guides. One thing that my children and I did on this recent trip, and they had a lot of fun with it, we had gotten a whole bunch of $1 bills. So many that I thought the lady at the bank was going to think that I was going to a strip club or something. We had to get a big stack of dollar bills because we were going to be in New Orleans and we were going to be riding the streetcar. And when we got there, we did ride the streetcar some, but we found that we really just liked walking everywhere mostly. And so some days we didn't even ride the streetcar. Yet we had these envelopes filled with these dollar bills to buy our streetcar ticket. And we had to have exact change, $3 per person for a day pass. And so we had a couple extra envelopes of these dollar bills that we didn't use. So we decided to go around and give them to, in New Orleans, they have the Jackson Square, and in the French Quarter, there are all these street performers who set up and they put out their guitar case or a box or what have you. And accept tips. So we had a really fun time going around and giving tips to them. And also there were some homeless people that we gave money to. Just whoever we found, whoever we came upon, we would give some of these dollars to. And it was just really fun, really vibe lifting for us to see all them smiling when we put something in their box and just us knowing that we had enough abundance that we were able to share. And that's what the big thing is, because when you feel good about giving and sharing with somebody, giving a good tip or giving money away to someone who's providing a service, such as a street performer who's providing entertainment, then you're signaling your subconscious, the universe, whatever works for you, you're signaling to them that you are abundant, that you have enough to share. And so, strangely enough, that signals the universe to give you more. Now, here's what happens though. If you give in a fear mindset, or you give, it creates a resistance in you because you're thinking, this person doesn't deserve it, then you're not going to see the positive results. So don't do it if you're afraid. I used to attend a Unity church many years ago, and the minister would talk about, how tithing was a gift to you and it raised your income. But he also said, the church doesn't need your money. Don't do it as I need to give this to the church to survive, which the church obviously did need money, but he wanted you to give only if you felt comfortable giving. If that brought up a fear response, he did not want you to give, because then you wouldn't receive the blessing back because you're doing it from a place of lack or fear. So if you feel that way, don't do it from that space. But there's a book I think I've mentioned before, and I'll try to put a link in the show notes, called Happy Money. I believe it's 99 cents or $1.99 on Amazon. It's not very expensive and it's not very long. And this woman talks you through a process that she does where she gives away, I think she takes $5 $1 bills a month and she sticks a sticky note on it and she sticks it somewhere where someone will find it, but she doesn't know who is going to find it. So it's like the universe is going to match that money up with that person. And I've often found that a really fun way to lift your money vibration, and you'll find more money coming back to you when you do this, especially if you do it in the spirit of giving and in a joyful way. If it brings up fear for you, don't do it. But most people can give away $5 a month without feeling fear. I also listened recently to an ebook where Joe Vitale was talking about a man who gave away $1 a day, and he did basically the same thing. He just put it somewhere where someone would find it. And every day, $1. And he felt his income grow as he did this. And I understand that it seems counterintuitive, but I am telling you, if you do it from a joyful place of giving and it makes you feel good, it's going to bring more money to you. So let me see. Yes, this is one thing that I am excited to do after we did this with the street musicians, and it was so much fun. I was like, I would love to go when my husband and I go back to Las Vegas, is to get like $100 worth of $5 bills and pass them out to the musicians and the people who are performing on the streets there. But you can do this any way that you want to. I know someone who puts quarters in parking meters or leaves quarters on the little machines that have bubble gum and treats in them in stores for kids to find. So you can start small. You can start with a quarter. You can give away a quarter. Start at a point that doesn't bring you stress and just grow from there. But giving is part of the circle of receiving. And you also definitely want to be open to receiving and allow other people to give to you. But I have found one of the big tricks to allowing money in is to not grasp so tightly to it. And when you know that there's more coming, it's easier to share. So go out and play with this. Let me know how it works. And you may want to look at a money tracker while you're doing this. You can keep a log of all the money that comes in as you're giving out money. And I will put a link in the show notes I have a free money tracker that you can use. And you can also write what you gave away on any particular day. And then just as the month goes by, you can also track all the money that came in. You can track your normal money that you're expecting, a payday. You can track if you find $1 on the street. And if you find money on the street, definitely pick it up. It's a gift for you. And also you can track, free things, because when you give away things like that, sometimes you don't always just get money. Sometimes people will buy you a lunch or give you a present. So keep track of that, because you're focusing on what you're receiving back. But just when you give like that, just do it for the fun of it. And then just, track what you get, but don't make it where it has to balance out. But I've never been able to outgive the universe. The more I give, the more I receive. And then the more I give, and the more I receive. And the more I give, and the more I receive. And on and on. It's just an upward spiral. So give it a try and go out today, make some magic, enjoy the journey, and I will see you next time. Namaste and big hugs. Hey guys, the Magical Life Manifesting Club is temporarily closed to new members right now. I am revamping and revising and adding all sorts of sparkly new stuff, and it will be opening back up in May. But right now, I've got some fun freebies for you to play with while you're waiting for the club to open back up. You can get a free weekly manifesting planner and daily manifesting planner that you can use depending on what type you prefer. Also, there is a magical lunar planner, an angel assignment planner, money tracker to watch your money manifest and grow, a daily love list PDF, and a Revamp Your Vibe in 5 minutes eKit. And all of these are available free on Daily Alchemy. So to get to them, you can either go to dailyalchemy.com and scroll down till you see the button that says freebies, and it will take you to the page where you can sign up to get these. Or you can also put dailyalchemy.com/magical freebie vault, and there is a link in the show notes. So go on over and pick those up and let me know how they work for you. Namaste.
Thanks for listening to the Adventures in Alchemy podcast. Connect with me on thedailyalchemy.com or Facebook at facebook.com/Michelle Dobbins author. Join us next time for even more magical life tips.